Hi everyone, Mark Cabanis here for our product focus video, and today's focus is on a brand new devotional book by Tina English titled My Strength and My Song, 52 soul nurturing hymn-centered devotions. Welcome, Tina. Now, there are a lot of devotional books in the world. We know that. I mean, a lot of devotional books, but Tina has done something truly unique here, and we're going to talk about that here in just a moment. But before we talk about the book itself, I wanted to tell you that you know her name as a lyricist and as a composer over many years. And but in addition to her being a lyricist and a composer and having written some new hymns for us for Hymns Now and a lot of wonderful anthems, Tina has a wonderful background as a guidance counselor, as a counselor, and that whole background. So you understand, Tina, well, as you've got the heart of obviously of a lyricist and a wordsmith and a writer, but you also understand how it is to counsel people and to sympathize with them and understand different people coming from different walks of life. So as the publisher of this book and having seen it and obviously read through it before we published it, it's almost like a mini retreat. I see it. It's like a mini retreat where each devotion. And the other great thing about this book is that it's hymn-centered, as the subtitle says. Talk about how it's structured, Tina, and how you came up with that.
Well, I love hymns. I've loved them my whole life. And I always got tickled as a child when we would sing a hymn and they would say, we're going to sing verses 1 and 3, and that would be all you'd sing. And I would sit there and kind of read through the other thinking, well, that's a pretty good verse, or I like the words in that verse. But I've loved hymns, and so I thought, there's so much rich verbiage and such great theology in these hymns from all these hundreds of years that it would be fun to go through some that different churches, different faiths can identify with, and just pick out a verse of the hymn that would go with a theme of that day or that week. And so it was easy to do. I gleaned through the Baptist hymn book, the Methodist, the Presbyterian, the Catholic hymn book, Episcopal hymn book. I gleaned through a whole lot of those and found some that were central for all, that were present in all of those hymn books.
Common ground.
Common ground, absolutely. And then kind of built just on that one verse what I wanted to say that I pulled from that, and using scripture and trying to make that fit all together. It was a fun experience, a lot of fun.
Well, I can tell because when I read them, you get to know you a little better, and yet it's also though about just it's focusing it on the hymn and the nugget of that wonderful theology of the hymn lyric, and then you have the scripture, and you also have a little place for journaling or something like that. Talk about that.
Yeah. So there's 52 of these entries, and then the second page is 5 more entries as far as just personal study that you might want to do during the week. Scripture, and then you look those up, and there's a place where you can make your notes and apply it back to the theme of that week. So it works for individuals, it works for groups, praise teams, choirs, perfect for closing in a choir rehearsal of any kind or a Bible study. It's just, it gives the reader the opportunity to kind of branch out with that second page of verses.
If they so desire.
If they want to, absolutely.
Right. They don't have to journal, but it's there if they want it.
Right.
For in-depth study or whatnot, and personal reflection.
Personal reflection.
That's why I call this kind of a mini retreat, everyone, is because you feel like you've just been refreshed, and it's so refreshing, as I say, and I like the fact that you said that it can be used with not only, there are 52 for a reason, 52 weeks in a year, obviously, so one per per week if you want to do it that way. But there are just so many opportunities to use it with the whole congregation, you know, or not just the choir. But again, it's very flexible, I would say.
Flexible.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
that's
that
a
was
good
the
way of
goal.
putting it. And then also, Tina, with your background, you know, I mean, when you came to writing them, what was how did you approach? I mean, that's the typical question. Where'd you get your ideas? You know, but I mean, you had to pull in just such a wealth of personal experiences, just of life. I mean, all writers do that. So talk a little bit about that, if you would. I mean, maybe just a little bit of the process and how you came up with some of the hymns that were not only common ground with the many denominations, but maybe near and dear to your heart.
Well, I'm no theologian. I mean,
Right.
I don't claim to be, but I love the Bible, and I found as I studied, at some point, I just determined to be a student of the Bible. As I was doing that, I realized how much psychology there was in the Bible, and to me, my training.
Because you have a degree in psychology.
Yeah, I have a master's in psychology, and I just found that there were all kinds of elements that just made so much sense together. So I guess what I tried to do was kind of pull from some personal experiences, pull from just some delightful experiences that I've just experienced or learned as a student of the Bible that I've got a kick out of, or that I've just been incredibly amazed at watching them fulfilled through the years of my life. And you know, I think as you get older, you just have a rich appreciation for
Yes.
the truth. And I've tried to live an authentic life, which has become incredibly important to me. So in the book, I just am being open and honest, authentic about my experience, but at the same time, it's not just all about me. Just,
course.
you know, here and there, a few sprinkles of some things, but just what I've learned.
And actually, truth be known, I had to say to Tina, well, I want more of you in this, you know, when she was writing it. So, because she's the humble person that doesn't want to talk about herself, but in any event, thank you for that aspect of doing that, Tina.
I appreciate it.
Because I know you for over 30 years, and I thought I know our readers, or the readers of this book, will enjoy getting to know you as well. Well, thank you, Tina. We're so excited about this new book and proud to be its publisher. So thank you for tuning in to this product-focused video on our YouTube channel, focusing on My Strength and My Song, 52 hymn-centered, soul-nurturing devotions by Tina English.